He's sprinted through houses, NBA stadiums, and million-dollar listings. He's jumped into pools, slid across floors, and yelled, "This is the garage!" like it's a battle cry. His chaotic energy, hilarious thumbnails, and viral speed tours have racked up millions of views across TikTok and Instagram. He's not just showing homes, he's putting on a show. He's even toured a house for Jake Paul, turned real estate into entertainment, and helped redefine how Gen Z sees the industry. And let's be clear, he does not do podcasts, but he's doing this one as a favor for your boy. This is unfiltered, unscripted, and unmatched. Please welcome to the Authentic Podcast, my boy, Trent Miller.
Fellas, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys, 100%.
Absolutely. And again, James, what a intro. I appreciate
that is a great intro. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Well thought out, well scripted. And everybody, again, welcome to the Authentic Podcast. Thank y'all for tapping in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And again, we're here with Trent, right? And if you don't know who Trent Miller is, just look him up. Just type in his first and last name. Things will pop up, I promise you. Now, real quick, Trent, for the viewers out there, because James and I know who you are, right? And know about you. And I just want you to kind of let the people know, who is Trent Miller, right? Give us a little high-level overview of you, man.
A quick little overview of me and kind of the success I've seen in the past year. I'm 20 years old. I'm originally from Pennsylvania. I just moved down here to San Antonio to pursue real estate. In the past about year, as he was talking about my speed tours, I've done about 500 million views between all platforms. So it keeps me busy. I've had a lot of partnerships, like he said, NBA teams, the Brooklyn Nets, Jake Paul, different things like that, Sephora. So I've seen a lot of the creator world, but I've also closed a bunch of homes. So it's been a very, very blessed life this past year. That's for sure. God is good.
That's beautiful.
I think one thing that sticks out to me, and I don't even know if they reached out to you or you reached out to them, but I remember, this is so random, bro, but you did a speed tour for a university.
Yeah, that's
Bowling Green.
BGSU.
Yeah. What do you, why that university? What
So they reached out to me. So that was probably 6 months into kind of my growth and everything. That was my first brand deal. So up until that point, I was really just touring homes, just selling homes. And that was the first time I was like, wow, I can make money outside of just views. I can make money actually on other brands now.
That's crazy,
so it's kind of crazy because everyone else my age is paying to go to college. Yeah. Meanwhile, I was being paid by a college to tour them. So that was pretty crazy. But my next one I have in the works right now is Texas Tech.
Let's go.
So I got that one in the works. It's not finalized yet, but we're working on it. So we'll see what that turns into.
Bro. I think it's so interesting. What is the goal of these? My bad, Dylan. I don't know.
Please.
What is the goal of these universities for you to come out and do a speed tour? Is it to get the younger generation or younger kids to be like, oh shoot, I didn't know about this college. I want to look into it.
Yep.
Is that the ultimate goal?
100%. So I have a large following between high school and kind of that 30-year-old range, which is obviously going to be more of a target audience for colleges because that's who's going to college. So seeing that, they're like, hey, let's get him out here. It's someone that has 2-something million followers between all platforms. Let's get him out here, get his viewers kind of watching our school, get some promotion behind it, and I think that's the way that they look at it.
Man, that's awesome. And in turn, you mentioned you're 20 years old, right? And yes, so sir. What was that? Out of high school, how did you transition into real estate, man? Could tell us a little bit about that, what made you in this direction?
Yeah, so kind of prefacing everything, the town where I grew up, there was only 1,300 people.
Oh, wow.
So compared to San Antonio, there's over 1 million people in this town. So it's gonna be a little bit different as far as kind of the way I have to take everything. Mm-hmm. So I graduated, got into real estate, watched all the, self-help books, the self-development books. I was waking up at 4:30 every single morning and going down, studying, making sure I was getting my license on time. I got my license within a month after high school and was just working on my body, things like that. But it was really a slow start. I knew I needed to do social media in order to kind of branch out and get out of kind of where I was, especially if I wanted to move somewhere that was bigger. So I started with informational videos, and even if you guys go back to my page and you start scrolling through, you'll be able to see how boring they are. Yeah. They're very, very boring videos, and but it's a start, you know what I mean? You got to start somewhere. So every single day I was waking up, 4:30 I was studying, then I was making a video, and I did that every single day for probably a year and a half, and I was just focused, just moving, and I started getting to a point, honestly, where I was like, it's not working. And I started getting so discouraged, but it's a very, very powerful lesson you learn whenever you focus every single day for years straight and nothing happens, but you still continue to grind. And I think that's when people are genuinely rewarded. Whenever you just work, you finally have that come back to you. So after about a year and a half of me just grinding, I changed everything up. I'm like, you know what, this isn't working. I need to figure out, kind of a different angle for social media. And that's when I knew I needed to do something that was entertaining. So I was out at one of my listings and I was with my buddy and I'm like, man, what can I do that's different and no one's done before? I'm like, people's attention span's so short. What can I do? Something with speed. I'm gonna do a speed tour. That's what I told him. I'm like, just record me. I'm gonna run through the house in one shot. We're gonna record it. We're gonna post it. So we ended up doing it. We recorded it and posted it. And what a lot of people don't know is I actually recorded 2 tours that day. I recorded a speed tour and I called it a teleport tour. If I would have posted that teleport tour, who knows what would have happened with the speed tour, you know what I mean? If I would have posted that or not, but I never posted that teleport tour, so maybe I'll post that. But I tried 2 different things, ended up posting the speed tour, and overnight, on Instagram, it did like 10,000 views.
Wow.
I was like, whoa, that's pretty crazy. And then I checked later that day, I did 3 million views between both platforms, between Instagram and TikTok.
Congrats, bro.
And
that is huge.
just kept running with it from there.
Literally.
Yeah,
Consistency
literally
is
running with it from there.
key. Consistency is key. Absolutely.
I think that's such a good life lesson, bro. Where you talked about you did something every day for a year and a half before you saw it pay off. We live in a day where instant gratification is like everything for people, right? They might start a YouTube channel like us, right? And we might do 5 episodes and each episode's getting like 100 views and we're just like, oh, it's not what we wanted. Hey, Dylan, keep going or go do your own thing. I'll go do my own thing. People give up so quickly as opposed to putting that grind in, developing that grit, digging deep down and finding that why factor, why you do it. So what is your why? Like obviously you had a why which kept you going. So what's your why?
My why is my family. Growing up, my family's always taken care of me. I've always had pretty much everything I've wanted as far as, the sports teams. We've traveled for sports. I didn't really go without. So just wanting to give back to my family, my mother, my father. They work extremely hard. They've set great examples for me. So just really wanting to give back to them. That's kind of been the center of absolutely everything. And since I turned like 17, I started getting into the route of, figuring out how to invest and things like that. And I've always told them I'm going to take care of them. So just kind of making that promise to them and making that promise to myself that I'm going to be able to take care of my family and my parents has been something that pushes me every single day. Because it's not an option. What am I going to tell my parents? I'm not going to take care of them anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, I already made that bond, made that commitment.
Shouts out to the Millers, man.
Shouts out to the Millers.
No, absolutely.
Couldn't do it without it.
Absolutely. And so, Trent, let me ask you this, man. What's the biggest misconception people have about real estate or even about you, right? What do you think is like the biggest misconception in that?
The biggest misconception, we'll start with real estate. I would say that it takes necessarily a long time to grow. Obviously, everyone's horizon is going to be different, right? Some people are going to see success faster. Some people it's going to take longer for them. But there's no real, game plan as far as how real estate goes. However hard you work is what you're going to get out of it. If you just stay focused, whether it takes you 6 months, a year, 2 years, it will eventually pay off. It's just a matter of staying focused to it. So a lot of people, like he was saying, want that instant gratification of, I start real estate today, I'm going to be a millionaire tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's just not really how it works. It can happen. Don't get me wrong, it has happened to people. But everyone's time horizon for success in real estate is different. So just staying committed and staying focused, you will find success in it. A misconception about myself, everyone sees the character out there of speed tours, you know what I mean? The high energetic, the running around, and they might look at me and be like, this kid might not, have all his P's and Q's together, but I would say I'm a very collected man. I'm intelligent, you know what I mean? So I think that's a side people don't get to see. So I think it's pretty cool to do a podcast.
1000%. And I do have one more really quickly. I want to back up a little bit. So when you were out in Pennsylvania, right?
Yes, sir.
How did you pinpoint San Antonio, or what made that transition to, hey, I'm going to go to the Lone Star State. That's where I want to move. Yeah. My bad if I.
That's a good question. Okay.
No, so there's another realtor down here. His name's Brad, the realtor, and he blew up.
Shout out to Brad.
Brad.
But he blew up about 5 months before me.
Okay.
Kind of at a different level, but he blew up before me, and he was kind of like that not parental, but that mentorship as far as hey man, I went through this, like this is something you can look out for, and I have a really great area down here in San Antonio, because he reached out to me, called me, and just kind of wanted to figure out what I was about. So I got on a call with him. He talked to me for a little bit, kind of told me what he had going on, kind of what he experienced over the past couple months. And I just talked to him and grew a great bond. And he was like, hey, you got to come down here and record. So I flew down here, recorded for like 5 days, I think I stayed for. And after that, I was sold.
Absolutely. No, man, that's awesome. Brad, shouts out to Brad. I saw Brad a while back on TikTok.
Yeah, we talked about
before.
that.
Yeah, and I just was like, dude, this guy's so raw. Like, he comes in here,
raw.
and he's just like raw. The jokes are awesome. But dude, I love on your videos, man, how, I mean, I love it all, dude. Honestly, everything that you do. But one of my favorite parts is when you're like, you slap that
Right.
in the restrooms and stuff.
I love
like,
it.
vanity. Everybody has one, and
I
love it, dude. I love it. I love the energy that you bring. So San Antonio, truly blessed to have Trent Miller here by all means. So thank you for being here.
The thing about San Antonio too, I want to touch on. I mean,
Yeah, please.
Especially through the different brand deals, through the traveling I've done in the past year, I've seen a lot of cities, and they all have that big hustle and bustle, but they don't have that small town feel. The thing I always tell people about San Antonio, it has so much opportunity. It's a big city, but it still kind of feels like a small town. People are so
100%.
nice. Like, it's easy to connect with people out here. Not everyone's stuck up.
We talk about that all the time, like San Antonians. It's like the biggest, it's the smallest big city ever. Like everyone knows everyone, bro. And we just did a podcast with my brothers, and they make music. The videographer Eric, you know, the guy behind the camera, he knew when me and Eric met, you know, years ago, he knew them and their music. Like everyone in San Antonio somehow, some way knows each other.
Yeah.
It's weird, but it goes back to that small town feel.
It's insane. And then just the hospitality between everyone. Like, even certain things, like if you go to Florida and you wait at a red light too long, they're behind crushing that more. And that's something, like, it doesn't really happen too much here. So,
sure.
I don't know. Just little things like that just make a big difference, I think, to me.
Man, that's awesome. That's love.
What is I want to go back to Brad, man. Shout out to Brad. Brad was actually how I found you.
Yep.
And so I had just jumped into real estate, just got medically retired from the military.
Thank you for your
And-
service.
Yes, thank you for your
Thank you,
service.
bro. Thank you. And I was following him, and I just loved his videos, man. His edginess, I knew wasn't my brand,
Right.
but because of the military, it was something that I related to. And so his tours were just so different. And I would wake up, you know how some people wake up, get on YouTube, and they watch their favorite YouTuber? Like, I would get up and look at houses from Brad.
Right.
Like, it was just like, okay, what's he doing today? Okay, like, shit, I can't afford that.
Right.
I can definitely afford that. I can't wait to do this. I'm jumping into real estate, man. I can't wait to be like him. And he decided to do that school.
Yeah.
And I guess when you moved down here, y'all tag teamed that. So tell us about that, because that's kind of how I was thrown in the mix and how I met you. And yeah, tell us about that school and just how it helped so many people.
Yeah, so about 8 months, I would say, kind of after our blow up, and after me and Brad experienced a ton of things, trial and error through social media, really was through the ringer at that point. I was sued one time. That's a whole nother story. But so many different things happened to me in that process. So I really kind of wanted to, help other people out, because there was never really a game plan. It was me and Brad were kind of originators as far as how content was filmed for homes. So we just kind of wanted to spread that wealth out to people. So we started a school. We had the idea after I moved down here, and we're like, hey, this could be really good. We could, build a great community of other people that are like-minded. And that's exactly what we did. We gained about 60 people, I think, at one point, and we just gave out all our information. We recorded everything, and we put it into modules for everyone. We were doing morning lives, but it's just so awesome to see, because James even himself has seen so much success, and obviously it's not us. He wakes up every single day, he does the work, he finds the clients, he makes the calls, so it's 100% his work, but just being able to be even a part of that at all has just been such a blessing. It's just so cool to see. And Bridget, she's one of the top producers in San Antonio, and
shout out to Bridget.
every time I see her stuff, it just makes my heart so warm that I had any sort of impact on any of it.
Yeah, and it was a big impact, bro, because I truly believe in collaboration over competition, man. Like, there's enough food at the table for all real estate agents to eat. A lot of real estate agents just don't have that mindset.
100%.
And so for you and Brad to kind of bring all these people to the table and say, hey, this is what we're doing, this is what works, You can try it if you want to try it. You can do it your own way. Do whatever you want, but the proof is in the pudding. And here it is. Here's everything. And so the people that have taken, bits and pieces that you guys have put down, you can see the success in their careers now. And I just want to say, for someone that really enjoys helping people, thank you and Brad for taking the time out of y'all's time. And kind of just helping, all of us. So
of course,
yeah,
it's been a blessing, like I said, to see everything. It makes me so excited when I see any sort of closings, any sort of videos. I mean, it's amazing.
You looking at doing any new classes like that for anybody else out there that's looking to get into it, or?
I don't know if we have any in the near future. We did partner with RD Realty, so we're working with them. They're doing a lot of training and onboarding, and we're kind of helping them bring agents as well.
Yep.
Doing it more passively at this point. Me and Brad have just been working on really growing our own businesses.
For sure.
But yeah, I mean, that's an experience I'll never forget. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man, that's awesome with that blueprint, and what y'all created. Really sounds like a family within it.
It was. It
cool,
really
man.
was.
That sounds cool. I wish I missed out, man. I should have been in on that.
For real.
Yeah, Dylan, for those of y'all that don't know, Dylan he's like, what is he gonna say right now? Dylan likes to have his hand in every single pot. So he's trying to get his MLO right now.
Yeah.
And he's done with the classes. He just needs to take his test. So if maybe you guys can put in the comments down below, motivate Dylan. Say get off your ass.
Get on it, boy.
Take your test, bro. Take your test.
I'll take it. I promise. To all the news and everybody.
So we can work with you.
No, 1,000%. And Trent, my next question, man. Everybody wants to go viral, right? Like, I mean, we were talking about the instant gratification, which is one of the biggest temptations ever. So don't fall too much into that. But few can turn that attention into real deals, right? So What's your playbook, man? I know you touched on consistency, but what's your playbook on that? Would you say, hey, just keep it going, keep putting the gas forward kind of thing?
As far as taking the views to closings?
Yeah, exactly.
So at that point, it's all going to come down to systems. So this is when everything kind of behind the scenes should be working. So at this point, how I have it set up now is very different than I had it set up in the beginning.
Yep.
When I first kind of blew up, I told everyone to DM me, and people would message me, but stuff, especially when you start getting a ton of views, like stuff starts to slip through the cracks.
Sure.
So I had to figure out a way to, garner all these leads into one spot, have an automated outreach, and kind of have things set up to where I don't necessarily have to touch everyone by myself.
Yeah.
They can go out and they can, have that automated message, and then from there I can figure out what to do.
Yeah.
And then obviously whenever you get a ton of views, you're gonna have some that aren't qualified. You're gonna have some that shouldn't even be applying, you know what I mean? So you kind of have to weed that process through, and it takes a little bit to learn that and to learn how to make that process as quick as possible and as effective as possible. But the way I kind of have it broken down now is they'll fill out the link in my bio, and when they do, it shoots me a text and it says, hey, so-and-so, put in their information. I can go to my CRM, look at all their information, and from there I can shoot them a text. I have about a 3-system text that I send to 99% of all my leads that basically just qualifies them before I hop on the phone call.
Beautiful.
If everything goes good with the qualifying, they hop on the phone call, I get them pre-approved by my loan officer, we go out, we schedule touring, and then we close homes.
Money.
Typically, I mean, it only takes me 1 day of touring in order to close someone.
Love it.
So it's a very, very simple process. I mean, from the first time they outreach to about 30 days, I typically have them under contract.
Yeah.
So
That's fire, man.
That's amazing, bro.
it's a pretty simple process, but you have to figure it out in order to make it simple first.
I have like a 2-part question, and both questions are very different.
Yeah.
The first one is, do you find it like funny? Not funny, but do you find it? So many people think buying a house is just impossible, right? They just don't. So when those people reach out to you and you explain that to them, kind of the same process that I do when they reach out and I explain it to them. Do you find it like funny that they're like, dang, it's that easy?
Yeah, I mean, I work with a lot of first-time home buyers,
Yeah.
and it's some of my favorite people to work
Same,
with because
same,
it's
bro.
like it's the first time they're really getting into their own home, so they just feel so passionate about it, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah.
But there's a ton of people that are looking to just rent, and I'm like, what do you mean you want to spend $2,000 on rent? I can find you a home for $1,600.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's yours.
And it's
Like,
yours.
yeah.
You can do whatever you want to it. You can paint your walls, this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
It's yours. So yeah, a lot of people just don't understand that they can buy, especially like people that have high credit scores that can apply for USDA loans.
Yes, bro.
0 down.
Yep.
Closing costs covered by a new home builder.
Yep.
3% interest rate.
Yep.
So you can't beat it. So a lot
Shout
of
out.
people just
There's
don't
a
understand.
builder out there right now. I'm not gonna shout anyone out, but there's a builder out there right now that they just, I don't know if you saw it, but they're not You get a 5.75% interest rate for all 30 years, fixed, no down payment, but still FHA loan.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You're like, let's talk after this.
Yeah, so I'll tell you
Yeah,
what it is after this. If y'all follow my Instagram, it's on my story right now. So I'll tell you what it is after this. But
100%.
my part two to that question was, do you ever have people? Obviously, you have over a million followers on TikTok.
Yeah, 1.6.
1.6 on TikTok, which is insane.
Yes.
You have almost 400,000 on Instagram. Do you ever find when people come up to you to buy a house that they're kind of like in that shell shock, like this is Trent Miller, like when we walk in the garage, he's gonna go, this is the garage.
Yeah, so I've definitely had a lot of it. I mean, I've had phone calls where people like struggle to speak, which is crazy because I'm just a normal person. You know what I mean? I don't look at myself as anything over anyone.
You're one of the most humble people probably I've ever met.
I appreciate that.
You come to Bible study, just like you said, you're a normal person.
It means a lot to me, especially like where I grow up. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that really keeps me grounded in who I am and kind of what I do. But I mean, I've had people that I've gotten on a phone call and they're just like speechless. It's like I'm just sitting there like, hey man, I'm one of you. Like we're just having a phone call. I'm just helping you out of my home. But yeah, like even the last transaction I had, it was like she was one of the ones that did that. But yeah, I mean, once we really get into the process, they see me in person and we start like joking, laughing, having fun. They really get to see me for who I am and they kind of loosen up a little bit, and then it starts to be a really, really fun process. So awesome. It's kind of weird how I've been able to kind of shift everything. Instead of having to sell myself anymore, people are like almost selling themselves to me to buy a home, and it's a crazy dynamic.
Like they're trying to qualify themselves.
Exactly, in order to work with me.
Like I'm this and this. Like, can you sell to me?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like a whole different dynamic, but it's been absolutely so much fun. But I'm just so blessed, man.
I can just imagine. I could imagine like being your client and like we're walking in and you're like, oh yeah, and here's the 2-car, and they're just like waiting on you.
Yeah, oh yeah. And people like ask me like, can you do it? Can you do it? Can you do it? Like I got you.
Can you do it? It's crazy.
Oh, I died. That's funny.
Can you show me the garage?
That's funny. Man, I wish y'all both were around, man, when I was buying my home, because I didn't really have a real estate agent to.
Yeah. You got railed. I'm just kidding.
I did not. Well, I had to negotiate everything on my own side, but I used like a Zillow agent, and it just was not the greatest experience.
Well, let's just sell your home and buy a new one.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
There we go. Let's do it.
No, literally, I was talking to you about that not too long ago.
We can tag team it. We can buy her. I'll be the listing agent.
Hey, I'm down. I'm down.
You'll pay us both 10%.
That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's funny. Now, look, let me ask you this, Trent. What advice do you have for agents, man, that are trying to build a brand versus chasing the commission check? What advice do you have for those type of individuals? Because I feel like there's quite a bit out there that are like that.
I feel like all the advice is going to come down to consistency. I mean, as you heard me, it took me about 1.5 years of posting every single day in order to see any sort of type of really growth. But really in that 1.5 years is where the success happens, because that's where I'm learning everything. That's where I'm waking up. That's where I'm putting in the work. You don't see the growth until after that 1.5 years when it blows up. But really the success came back whenever I was working hard every single day. So just getting to work, staying consistent, and then eventually you're going to see that blow up. But just staying focused on keeping the main things the main things. A lot of people, I always say failure to plan is planning to fail. So if you're not out there, if you don't have anything to go to, if you don't have like a bigger vision, but beyond that, having goals is one thing. If you don't have the access and the plans to be able to get there, then you're just throwing out wishes. You know what I mean? That's how I look at goals. They're wishes unless you have an action plan to get there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, just having an action plan and just staying true to what that action plan is and true to yourself, and just really knowing why you're doing it. Because like he was saying, in order to get up every day, you have to have that why. I mean, even seeing James, his kids, I know that's such a big motivator to him, having them. What's he going to do? Tell his kids that he doesn't want to go to work for him today? You know what I mean? Like having that why is so important. So if you have that why and you have a plan in place, you can't do anything but succeed.
That's fire. That's fire. And to lean in on that, like, I could tell you've done a lot of reading, Ben, and give me some of your top titles that you've read, give me a couple that really have impacted your life.
I'll say the main one, and this is gonna be my top one, and I'll tell everyone this, is Rich Dad Poor Dad. If you haven't read that, there's something wrong. I mean, when I turned 17, and this is kind of where my whole entire journey started. I was 17 and I was turning 18 soon, and I knew when I turned 18 I could invest in the stock market.
Yep.
But I was like, especially growing up where I grew up, like my family's middle class, you know, they go to work every single day, which all glory to them. They work extremely hard and they're hardworking people, but there was never that. I don't really have anyone ahead of me in my family or around me that was like pioneering entrepreneurship or anything like that had the bigger goal, financial freedom. So I had to figure it out all on my own. And just through YouTube videos and things like that, I finally found Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I ordered it, and it was the first book about anything financial, anything like that I read. Wow. And I accredit almost everything to that book. I mean, it changed my life. Just the way it's been able to teach me to look at liabilities versus asset, the way I've been able to treat my money through it, all of it. I mean, it completely changed my life. So as soon as I turned 18, I started investing in the stock market. And I always tell people, investing in the stock market, and this is kind of the way I chose. There's 3 ways to really get wealthy. Your own business, real estate, investing in it, or investing in stocks. Yeah. And that's like the 3 main ways. And it's so crazy because you can't just search it up on the internet and it tells you that.
Yeah.
I had to do so much digging in order to find that.
Yep.
But once I found that, I really honed into the 3 and figured out which one worked best for me. So it was just figuring out that book. It really taught me a lot.
That's awesome.
That we talk about that quite a bit. Dylan's a big reader. I recently started reading when I got out of the military and I got time. But one of the books that I've read recently that changed my life completely is very similar to Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon. And bro, when I started applying some of those lessons to my life, it's changed completely. You know, my finances have changed, my bank account has changed, and nothing's different. I'm making very similar money to the money that I was making in the military, probably a little bit more, but I'm not doing anything different except for applying the things that I learned from that book. And what's crazy is, bro, it's just a book with a piece of paper in it, you know? But if you apply the information that you use, and that's just a lesson, I guess, in this podcast, getting those lessons and actually applying them, bro, as long as you apply them, you just grow. You know, 100%. You get better, you learn. It's just, it's insane to think about. But The Richest Man in Babylon, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, those are books that can absolutely change your life.
1000%.
And I'll tell you about the real best book out there, the Bible. If you're not reading that, something's going on. So keeping the main thing, keeping him number one. I mean, that's where your life changes. I mean, it has everything from wisdom to guidance, you name it. If you're feeling down, you got it all. So that's the most important book out there.
Man, that's fire.
And if you don't know where to start, man, just grab the Bible and start in Matthew chapter 5. Read the Sermon on the Mount. That's like Jesus' teachings from Jesus himself. So why not start from the main man, you know? But yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, bro.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Did you have another question? I got a bunch, man.
Yeah, I mean, I got a bunch too. You got one on you?
I got one on me.
Go for it,
I got plenty.
Oh.
Hey, okay, go play with it.
Where did you pull inspiration from, brother, outside of real estate? I've heard about your family, right? That sounds like a big one, of course, right? But where else have you pulled inspiration from, would you say?
I would say a big leaning factor, like I said, would be my family. But just kind of growing up where I've grown up is no one really seen that type of success. You know what I mean? There's never been anyone that's kind of, you know, took that leap out of my town or really moved out of my town. Everyone that grows up where I grew up stays there.
Yeah.
So just kind of seeing that no one's ever done it has...
Before you go too far, this is to piggyback off that question because I feel like you're going there. How many people, once you started doing that, in your town were like, bro, speed tours are dumb? That's not gonna work.
There was absolutely everything. There's, especially in anything you do that gets any sort of attention, you're gonna have the complete polar opposites. So I mean, there's people that absolutely hated, and there's people that didn't know me. There's people that didn't know me that, you know, started falling in love with me and were like texting me all the time, like, hey, remember this, remember that. We went to school together, like. So there's always gonna be both.
After they saw the success.
Exactly. So there's always going to be both polar ends. I mean, I honestly saw probably more hate before I blew up because everyone's like, oh, it's not going to work. He posts every day. I mean, even some of my friends were like, I'm going to block you because I see all your posts every single day. Instead of supporting, you know what I mean? They're like, I'm going to block you because I see your post all the time. And now they always ask, you know, where'd you go this week? What are you doing now? How much money have you made? Like, people always have those questions, but whenever you're first getting started, really seeing who's sticking there with you, I feel like is very important.
Yeah, 1000%. No, that's big, man. That's really big. So you said there's 1,300 people where you grew up? Or
Yes,
is that right?
in my town.
Wow, man.
I think we had like 1,300 people in our graduating class.
Yeah, no, easily.
Like we graduated in the Alamo Dome.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
That's absolutely insane. There's 2 stoplights where I'm from. That's it.
Really?
2 stoplights.
Holy
Mercersburg,
smokes.
Pennsylvania.
That is wild.
We gotta pull that up on the video.
Yeah,
Pull it
shout out
up
to
on the map.
Pennsylvania. Bro.
Yeah.
What's the town called?
Mercersburg, Pennsylvania.
Mercersburg.
Why
What's
do you
it
say it
called?
like that?
Mercersburg?
Mercersburg.
Mercersburg.
I don't know.
James said it.
That's what it is.
That's what it sounded like. to
I
me.
went to James Buchanan High School.
James Buchanan.
Man,
Shout out
okay.
Buchanan High School.
James Buchanan was a president actually, and he's also ranked one of the worst presidents. But he was
Shout
born,
out. Shout out.
he was born where I grew up. So
We went to Taft High School, which was one of the presidents, and I think he
that's the one that drowned in the tub.
in a bathtub.
'Cause he was too
Yeah,
fat.
dude. Shout out to our presidents, bro. Oh, that's crazy.
That's phenomenal.
Funny. That's funny. What's Trent? Give us one of the craziest, showings that you've done, man. Give us a raw version of it. What's one of the craziest stories?
One that like the first one that comes to mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like, dang, this house.
I
is
mean,
crazy.
I have one that really comes to mind, but just for their kind of privacy, I don't want to talk on it.
Okay.
Man, that would be such a good one. Let me come back to that question
Okay.
because that's my number one, but just for privacy reasons.
There's two that come to mind that I think of.
Yeah.
Jake Paul's, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the Star Wars house.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I can touch on both of those for
Okay.
sure. So Jake Paul originally reached out to me.
I remember when he did, because you went in the school and you were like, "Yo, Jake Paul reached out to me." Literally,
Of
what you
course.
said, and everybody was like, "What?
Wait, what's
What?
going on?
Yeah.
Why did you just kind of like walk over that like it was normal?"
And because it was just on a live call, so
Yeah.
I was just telling him through that. Because the thing about me is I don't really like to put too much out there before it happens. I like to kind of let it happen and then just show everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, in passing conversation, obviously, I'll tell people about what I got going on. But
Yeah.
he reached out, and originally I was going to be in his YouTube video because he just got done remodeling his home.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to be in his YouTube video with him, but just timelines for both of us didn't work out. But he actually paid for all my flights down there for me and 2 of my buddies, Brad and Cyrus, both my cameramen, to fly down there. We spent a day with him, went out there, filmed his home, and it's crazy because I was the last collab before the Mike Tyson fight. So
wow.
that Mike Tyson fight was everywhere. So
Yeah.
being able to go down there and see him right before that, I mean, I wore a Mike Tyson fit. I had boxing shorts on.
Yeah.
I had the Mike
The
Tyson
tattoo.
tattoo.
Yeah.
So
Were you showing the ass cheeks like Mike Tyson? I know everybody saw that.
nah, I wasn't like that. I wasn't like that. That was crazy.
wild.
I was like in shock when I saw it. Like, wait, did we just see Mike Tyson's?
That was
bosom
wild.
cheeks? Like,
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
But
Dylan sent me a picture of it during the fight and was like, "Did you see how nice those were?"
that's crazy.
this guy got jokes. This guy got jokes. That's hilarious.
That's crazy.
hilarious.
Oh.
No, but having that opportunity to be able to be down there right before that, I mean, it's someone that I've
Yeah.
watched growing up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Him being like 8, 9 years older than me. I just saw him all the way up through. I mean, even elementary school, I probably started seeing him towards the later halves of it. So just kind of being with someone that you saw the whole way up through, and they invited you out. And actually, I have a cruise going out of San Juan, Puerto Rico, and filming for the Royal Caribbean here coming up in August.
Right.
I'm gonna reach out to him, and hopefully we'll be able to get some dinner or something. But I've stayed in touch with him, so it's been pretty cool.
That's
That's
insane,
awesome,
bro.
That's awesome. Is that did that Darth Vader or Star Wars house get taken off the market finally? Or?
I don't know where it's at right now. Shelby Forbert's actually the listing agent. She's a really cool lady.
Yeah.
She invited me down to Houston for a lot of different videos, but very blessed by her, so shout out Shelby. But that one, I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
That house, it's an amazing listing. It's very interesting looking,
Yeah.
but I don't know how practical it is.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but it's really cool. So if there's someone out there that has a lot of money that they're a Star Wars fan,
Yeah, I saw recently on Insta somebody like reposted, and I'm like, damn, this house has been on the market for like a while now. Buyer's market though, ask these two guys.
It is
you
buyer's
know.
market.
For sure, his market. How much people that watch your videos, and just going back to the speed tour thing, people that watch them, can you kind of dive into it for us? Like, do you script them? Do you? And I know the answer to this, but
Yeah.
just to let them know, do you script it? Does it take one take? Does it take 40 takes?
Yep.
Like, do you jump in the pool last, or you're not wet the whole video? Like, what do you, like, kind of run us through it?
Of course. So basically how everything works as far as filming the speed tours, we'll start from the beginning of before we turn on the camera to whenever we finish. We get there, we unlock the home, and a lot of people are like, man, do you just get there and just run through it? If I did that, the video would be so chaotic it would be hard to watch. but 2, it would be so long because
Yeah.
how would I know where to go? What would I know the best route to be? So I get there, I kind of walk through. I don't necessarily script it as I'm gonna say this here. I might have a couple things that pop into my head before I record, but I really get in there and I kind of walk the route and I'm like, okay, this is the way we're gonna go. I show the cameraman, and then just from there, if I have any ideas that pop up, I'll just keep that in mind as I'm recording.
Yeah.
But we'll walk through, and then typically whenever we go out to record, it takes anywhere from 1 to 5 takes max, especially in this Texas heat. That's important.
Yeah, 1,000%.
I would be absolutely soaked if I didn't get it in my first to fifth try. But just through, I mean, I've been doing it for like a year and some change at this point.
Absolutely.
You just get better at it. So I'm typically able to like anywhere from first to third try typically. But yeah, it's important. If I didn't do that, I would be, I'd be sweating. I would need the pool to be soaked.
Yeah, man. No, you make it look effortless though, the way you do it, man, and it's awesome to keep up with. And
Well, it's wild because it's very difficult to do because sprinting and running like that, but talking the whole time.
Exactly.
Afterwards, I'm like, because I didn't breathe because I was talking. You know what I mean? So it's very, very difficult to kind of keep that up.
Yeah, I was thinking like I was doing a virtual showing the other day.
Yeah.
And to some military clients that overseas, and all I did was go up the stairs, bro. And I was so embarrassed. All I did was go up the stairs, and I was like, "Yeah, this is the loft."
I'm telling you.
Instantly thought of Trent. Like,
Bro,
how's he
I was
doing
like,
this?
all I did was go upstairs, and I'm breathing hard, bro. Like you're running the whole time through the whole tour, screaming in some parts, like you.
Yeah.
It's a workout, bro.
It is a
It's
workout. And like your lungs don't have any time to catch
Yeah.
up with breathing. So
Absolutely.
good thing I never smoked and I'm not smoking. I'd be rough.
Absolutely, man. No, that's if you need breathing techniques, please reach out to Trent. He got you covered.
There's one tour that you did, man, that I as a fan of, and I know you're a hooper. We're all hoopers here at this table. You did a video for the Brooklyn Nets.
Yep.
Where you toured, and that's the first time that I was just like, bro, I love this. Like not your tours. I always love your tours, but like I was like, man, I want to be with him right now in this moment, shooting a half court shot on in the
Barclays.
Barclays Stadium. Like, this is insane. Do you plan on, first of all, tell us about that experience, and then do you plan on doing any other stadium tours?
Of course. So, kind of starting off with it, that experience, that was such a blessing. I mean, if I would have told myself that was going to happen to me 3-4 years ago, back when I was in high school playing basketball, I don't even know what I would have said to myself. First and foremost, that's such a blessing. I'm so grateful. Thank you, God. But it's just very important to kind of keep that main thing the main thing.
Yeah.
But anyways, got there. They reached out to me via DM. That's how a lot of these opportunities kind of spark up, either an email or a DM. But they came through as a DM. And just through getting on call with their team, we kind of got some things ironed out as far as the season. They took care of me. They put me in, the tickets that they put me in, we went and saw the Miami Heat. The tickets they bought for me were $1,500 a piece.
Man.
And
A piece.
it was you and your cameraman?
Me and my cameraman. So they were
That's insane,
they were
bro.
completely covered, but I mean, even the amount the tickets were, it was so crazy, the experience, being able to be back there, seeing some of the players, being that close to the court. Because at that point, I've never been courtside. That was my first time courtside ever.
Yeah.
So having that experience, they made me a jersey that said Speed Tour on the back.
That's awesome.
So
Number 25, right?
Number
Something
25, yeah, which was crazy because I didn't give him a number, but that was my dad's number always growing up. So it was just,
cool,
it's
man.
funny how that works. But they took care of me for sure. But it was such a blessing, and I mean, that was probably one of my favorite experiences as far as collabs and things like that. Just because basketball is such a big part of me. I mean, ever since I grew up, I always wanted to be in the NBA, the NBA. But I was always really short, which is a whole nother story. My pituitary gland was always small, so I wasn't producing what I needed to grow.
Yeah.
So in like 10th grade, right before I hit my growth spurt, I was still 4'11".
Oh wow.
So, and at that point, I was playing varsity as well, varsity basketball. So, I mean, you got this little dude out here, So I had to develop so much skill in order to be any sort of, competitive with everyone else.
You can dunk now, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
off and
what I'm
on with it. I'm not perfect. I can't dunk every single time, but I do have my spurts, and I got it on video.
Yeah.
I always tell people, if you get your dunk on video,
Do you
you
have
dunk
one?
for a lifetime.
Can you
I
send
can
that
send it
to
to you. It's on my
us?
Instagram.
Yeah, so we'll put that in the video right here somewhere.
There it is. There it is. But
Exactly.
I'm an off and on dunker, and I got a couple friends. I'm actually gonna work out with Anthony Hamilton. I'm gonna fly down to.
Sounds familiar.
I don't know if you have to look him up. But he's a dunker. He's been a pro dunker for years, and I mean I've watched him for years and years. But the NCAA tournament was down here, and I had an opportunity. I had an opportunity to go out there for Final Four, and I was with the Dove Men's Care and met a lot of great people out there. But he was one of them, and he seen my videos and things like that. So we just connected through there. And it was so crazy because we didn't realize we knew each other whenever we first saw each other. So we introduced ourselves, shook hands and whatnot, and then we both pulled up our social accounts while we were talking. We were just mingling. We're like, hey, what do you do? He's like, I do basketball content. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. He pulls up his stuff. I've been watching this guy for like 10 years.
You're like, bro, I follow you.
Yeah, he was showing me what he had going on. At the time, he was building a backyard court, and which I'm actually going to go out and tour. It's going to be a really awesome video. But he was building his outdoor court, and he pulled up one of his videos. He's like, yeah, man, I'm building my outdoor court. I'm like, no way. I was like, you just got your sled to push outside. I was like, I kept up with all your videos. I've seen you. Like, I watch you. Like, you're one of my favorite videos. Like, and so that was pretty cool to see. Just connecting with him, and he was like, man, I've seen you everywhere. Like, it was just wild. It was a crazy experience.
That's crazy. Awesome.
Yeah, but he dunks and everything, so he's gonna get me right when it comes down to dunking. So I'm excited for that trip.
Quick windmill.
Exactly. I don't know if I'm gonna do all that, but I'm white, but I can get up a little bit.
If you ever do like a Spurs stadium tour and just need someone to go with you or something.
Yeah, right. You're the guy.
I guess if you need someone, I guess I'll go.
I love it. That is my next thing I kind of want to work on. Like even the rookies that join, like I shot them a follow, so we'll see if anything kind of happens from there. But
here's a great idea.
It's wild.
Project Marvel.
Oh.
Project Marvel. Tell me more.
You ever heard about it?
You ever heard about
I haven't.
Project Marvel. It's like this. It's a viral thing. Some San Antonians are for it, some San Antonians are against it, but they're basically, where the Spurs Stadium is right now, it's on the far east side. It's kind of away from everything. With us getting Wemby and Dylan Harper and, all these, Stephon Castle, the Spurs rebuild is pretty much done. Now it's time to just
rebuild the whole stadium.
Yeah, right. They want to rebuild the stadium and bring everything back to downtown. And so that's Project Marvel, and so it's going to cost billions. It connects
to the Alamo Dome, bro.
It connects everything. There's a sky bridge. There's we'll put a link to a picture of it or something.
I want to see that.
Right underneath.
It's pretty insane, bro. Man. Can we pull it up?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up right now.
It's pretty insane. It's going to cost a lot of money. It's probably going to make traffic even worse for the next 10 years. So we're not getting better, we're getting worse when it comes to traffic. Shout out San Antonio.
It's always something to work with.
Yeah. But dude, when it's done, when I'm 109, dude, it's gonna be amazing. And so
that's gonna be go ahead, you got it.
We'll put whatever Trent is looking at right here above him.
Yes.
And so that's the stadium.
Got it.
You got, obviously there's the downtown, you got the Alamo Dome, which they're gonna change up, and that's going to be a convention center and so on and so forth. But
that's wild.
So the real estate around there too is gonna be popping off.
Everything, and that's what I love about San Antonio. I feel like it's it is the last city that hasn't necessarily been like oversaturated or overpopulated or over kind of tapped into. It's something that's brand new and it's growing so much. I just feel I'm so blessed to be down here at this time. I mean, it's just everything falls into place, man. It's just wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. Let me ask you this, Trent. If you weren't, it's kind of hard to imagine this right now currently, but if you weren't in real estate, what would Trent be doing? What do you think you'd be up to?
It would be one of two things, because like I told you, real estate, stocks, and business, right? So it would be in those fields. It would just be a matter of if I chose stocks or my own personal business. I would assume I would choose a business just to kind of how I'm minded. For sure. Whether that business would be in stocks, who knows? But the way I kind of like to take everything is I like to not necessarily double dip, but kind of double dip right now. Because even like looking at my business, how I have everything set up, I'm a content creator, but I'm also a realtor, right? But my content creation feeds my real estate business. So if I had to assume what I would be doing, it would be something in stocks, but it would be something that would be feeding, like business-wise, I would have a business with stocks, if that makes sense. And then I would have the business feeding my stocks, if that makes sense. That's what I would assume I would be doing if I didn't choose real estate, but I mean, the whole reason I got into real estate and I sell real estate and things like that is because the long-term goal is to invest in multifamily real estate. So I don't know if you ever heard of Grant Cardone.
Of course.
So you've seen him yelling at your screen. I'm going to be our generation's Grant Cardone.
I love it.
That's basically what I'm going to. Not many people know it yet because they see the speed tours and stuff like that, but I'm garnering that audience, and just the way I've done it is it just building people that are my age is so important because not necessarily just selling real estate, right? Like I'd love being a realtor and I love helping people out in that aspect, but my long-term goal is kind of what I'm mostly focused on. Like I said, if you don't have a plan, then if you just have goals out there, you're not really going anywhere. You have to have that plan in place in order to succeed. And the end plan is to invest in multifamily real estate, but I knew I needed a foot in the door. I knew I needed to meet the people that were already doing the deals, that were already doing this, were already doing that. I knew I needed to build an army of people that could invest with me. So that's what I've done by getting into real estate. I'm going to meet the people that I need to know in order to invest in multifamily real estate.
Yeah.
But through social media, I can build the army of investors.
Love it.
And the people that follow me don't even know it yet.
Yeah.
But here in 3, 4, 5 years, after I've built up tons of capital in order to go out and invest myself, I'm going to switch my account, and now I have people.
Genius.
I'm the marketing person that's saying, hey, I'm investing in this property. This is how it works. Come invest with me.
Of course. Let me follow up real quick. One more question.
Yeah, hurry up.
Okay. He said, hurry up. Stop it. So let's just say for those 20-year-olds to 35, right? And you're looking at a first-time investment.
Yep.
Okay. And somebody comes to you, Trent, and they're like, dude, and I know there's a lot of other variables, right,
Yep.
for qualifications that come into play, but you know, somebody's looking at, okay, maybe they want to buy land, maybe they want to get into a first-time home, you know, maybe they want to invest in their business or something. What would you recommend, man? Are you saying, hey, get into a home, get equity first thing, start stacking that up, or what would you be your guidance?
Yeah.
In just having that conversation.
So my first thing I would tell anyone that comes to me for any advice is everyone's different. There's no one shoe fits all. You know what I mean? There's no person that's going to go out there and necessarily do a speed tour. There was no one that came to me and said, do a speed tour. You know what I mean? That's not the blueprint for success in real estate. So just with investing alone, you have to figure out what your goals are. So you have to start with your goal, and it's just like anything in life. Like a bunch of principles are applicable in any field of life, but it's just a matter of having that end goal. So if you want to make $4,000 a month and you want to do it through real estate, okay, you have your goal. Now backtrack to where you need to start in order to make that goal happen. So that's kind of the way I would tell everyone. There's no really blueprint I can give you as far as your own success. You're gonna have to figure it out. You're gonna have to put in the work. However, there's different steps you can take in order to find out where you need to go, if that makes sense. So wherever your goal is, you need to look at that first and then just break it down into steps, and you can find your own avenue yourself.
I love that. You're mentioning, you know, reverse engineering your own process, and that's so huge. I actually tell the kids that I train this, man, like, you ever seen your parents or even us day by day, we put in our GPS, okay, this is where I'm going. When you do those goals, it's like, hey, I'm going here, but in order for me to get there, once I get to that destination, I have to look back at where I started from, right?
Yeah.
And really calculate that. So that's huge, man. That's awesome. Man, y'all are getting fire facts dropped on you, some huge knowledge, man. I can't believe Trent's only 20 years old. This is like mind
I'm a
blowing.
20-year-old, but I feel like I'm 30 inside. It's crazy.
Dude. Absolutely.
I recently saw on your story, I believe, that you were making music.
Ooh.
Can you tell us about that? Like,
Yeah, so I was taking a trip up to Dallas, me and my buddy. His name's Tyler Bergantino. He does social media as well, so shout out to him.
Yep.
But we were heading up to Dallas, and we were playing some music, and he likes to sing, I like to sing. That's something that's very big to me. Like, I always have music on. I'm always singing. I love the runs. I love vocals.
Okay.
But with that being said, we were heading to Dallas, and we were both singing some country songs, and we're like, you know what? Why don't we make a song? So we had like 4.5 hours in the car. I mean, Dallas is a hike. So we're like, we could do it. So we put on a beat. We found one that we liked, and we just started sitting there kind of like, yeah, this is it. So I figured out the beat we liked and just started writing. We ended up writing about the same thing, being a Texan. So it was pretty cool to me because it's like I just moved here, so I wanted to write about it. So we wrote about that, made the song, and ended up actually pretty good. I went to the studio, recorded. It was my first one I fully made. I collabed with a rapper last year, and we made like a little jingle, but it wasn't like a full song. This is like a full song, like 2 minute and some song. So it was a lot of fun to make, but I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm gonna start making some more just because of how much fun
Can we
it
put
is.
that? Is the tracks out?
I can send it to you.
Can we put it right here?
Yep.
Is that cool, Eric? Can we put it right there? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, that's awesome.
Why right there?
Wherever. I mean,
No, I'm just kidding.
wherever you want it.
Where do you want it?
Yeah, exactly. Let's do it there.
No, yeah, man, that's
fire.
exciting. I used to make content. It reminded me of this guy I used to make content with.
Yeah.
He was my old roommate, Nick Bean. Shout out Nick
Shout
Bean,
out
man.
Nick Bean.
Shout out to
Shout
my
out.
boy Nick Bean, man. He's in North Carolina, just had a baby. So shout out to my boy.
Congratulations.
He we did YouTube, and did you ever hear about YouNow? You know what YouNow is? It's like you go live basically, and people watch you live. It's like Twitch, kind of, but you're not gaming. It's just like us sitting here and we're live.
Got it.
So like you have to entertain them or do whatever, but it's just us. Like we're just here.
Right.
And anyways, that's what he used to do, and he started making music, and bro, the music popped off, and but once I saw that you were making music, that's what it made me think of.
Right.
I was like, oh shoot, like my boy Trent's about to come out here with a new song, put it on iTunes, like you're kind of venturing out. So I just thought it was cool. I'm excited to hear it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, especially when it doesn't take that much time, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, I'm extremely, extremely busy. I mean, that's why I don't even do podcasts. Like, I've never done a single other podcast before. And it's just because of the time commitment, you know what I mean? I've taken, 2 hours or however long it may be to sit down, which, it just takes time. So just the lack of having time and, just wanting to keep the peace and stuff like that, I don't really make many things like that. So having that car ride that I go out for 4.5 hours, that what am I going to do otherwise? You know what I mean? So like just being able to do that, I think it's really cool. So anytime I'm on trips, I might start writing. So
that's awesome.
Keep an eye out.
Yeah. That's dope. We're gonna have to drop that song.
100%.
Any more questions?
I'm good. I was actually gonna ask you the same thing, because are you ready to?
So we have a segment called Shoot the Shot, where we ask 6 questions.
Yeah, 6 questions.
Yeah, so I got 3. Dylan has 3, and we got 6 questions that we ask you, and you get to answer those 6 questions as fast as you can while shooting.
Speed tour. I've been waiting to say that the whole time.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Look, he sounded
said it. I thought it was him for a second. I was like, God bless.
Hopefully, I can say that pretty good.
No, you got it, man. You crushed it.
Cool. Well, now you're getting sued, but yeah. Damn. But yeah, so we do have a segment called Shoot the Shot.
Let's
and
do it.
yeah, we're gonna jump into it.
Let's do it.
All right, welcome to Shoot the Shot. I'm gonna go ahead and ask the first question. As Trent is shooting, Dylan's gonna get the rebounds, or I'll get the rebounds. And let's go. If you could collab with one person on a speed tour, who would it be? Noah Lyles, the USA gold medalist, Speed, I Show Speed, or De'Aaron Fox, the fastest player on the Spurs?
Oh, man, I love De'Aaron Fox. I've always been a fan of him, but I'm going to say I should be.
Yeah, I love it. All right, next up. If houses had Tinder profiles, what's the one red flag swipe left feature you see all the time?
I see all the time? I would say probably the biggest one's going to be foundational issues. That's probably a big one. I don't see that all the time, though. I would say previous owners that didn't take care of it, smokers.
Ooh.
Oh, I like that. That's good. Like that.
What is the most random DM you've gotten since you've gone viral?
Oh my gosh, I've had some vulgar stuff. But I would say random as far as a good random.
Dude, he's on fire right now.
Random as far as a good random, probably Jake Paul.
Jake Paul, okay.
Okay. If Speed Tours was a rap album, what would the track list look like?
It would look like, oh man, This Is the Garage would be one. Most bathrooms don't have that. That's one. And This Is the Toilet. That's the third one. Album
Drop it soon.
I love that. If you had to do a speed tour in Crocs, boots, cowboy boots, or barefoot, which one would you choose?
Cowboy boots. Big country guy over here. I grew up riding horses. You name it.
Okay. If a movie studio made a film about your real estate career, who plays you, and what's the trailer's tagline?
Trailer's tagline is going to be The Need for Speed. Ooh. And who plays me? The Rock, because we're twins.
I like it.
Man, ladies and gentlemen, this is Trent Miller. Oh, yeah. Man, thank you so much.
I appreciate you guys 100%.
Man, much less to you, bro.
Appreciate that. Those are 2 really good things.
That was that. Those were good. Man, you can find Trent at
Trent Miller, just look me up, I'll be there.
TikTok, Instagram, all that good stuff.
Thank y'all for tapping in, man.
Thank you guys, that's a blessing. Appreciate you, fellas.
Bless.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate it.
There it is.
Thank you, man.